Now we are going to implement the macro that we just implemented in the balances palette in our proof of existence palette. And we are going to follow the same steps that we did before. So basically we need to isolate the functions that we want to expose, in this case the create claim and the revoke claim, and we want to add this to our new code block. So let's dive into this, and then we copy this code from here and from here and remove from here and add it here. And why are we doing this? Because if we add this macro, like macros call, macro call this way, you see that there are some functions, especially this one, that does not have the right interface. So there are some functions in our palette that we don't want to expose for external extrinsic calls. So that's why we don't put everything in the same code block. Okay, so we are adding these macros, and again, we need to adapt our code and remove some stuff. So we don't need the enum anymore, and we don't need the dispatch anymore, because all this code is being automatically generated for us, and everything is working except that our main function is using the old naming. So instead of create claim, we have another name. Remember, now it's lowercase create claim this way, and then create claim this way. We were not using revoke claim, but yeah, we should change if we want it. And if we test it, everything is running, and if we run it, it will run again. So again, very easy steps, not so much work. We just remove code that we created before for macros. And the next palette that we will create, we won't need to create all these enums and dispatches, because we just need to add the macros call. And this is exactly what we use when we are coding using the Polkadot SDK. And now we are starting to get close to the same coding architecture, the same design that was chosen inside the Polkadot substrate framework. And you are learning all this basic stuff here, building this blockchain from scratch. But if you look at the Polkadot code, you see that all these structures are very similar. And now you understand where do they come from. Okay? Let's run the cargo expand again. Let's run the cargo expand, and let's output to a file. So you're gonna see what is being generated. Remember, macros are not magic. They are just code being generated by code. And if you look at all the macros that we have here, for example, we have the print. The print, when it's a macro as well. Remember, there are many macros all around our code. The vac, this is a macro, okay? This is a macro. There are many macros all around, and if you take a look at our code, you're gonna see different usages of this macro, and this is the actual expansion of the code. So the original code is just print, but the actual code generated by the compiler is this, which in the end will result this is pretty much uglier than this one. So this one is simpler to understand. And the same goes for our macros that we created in our palette. So instead of writing all those enums code, we have this automatically generated code. As you can see, dispatch, if you look at if you find the dispatch, you see that, well, here they are automatically implemented, not here, inside support, no, yeah, it's implemented here in the call, the transfer for the balances, and the revoke claim and revoke claim. So this code is the function code, but this code is automatically generated. This is a macro code, and also the dispatch. This one is also automatically generated, and we have a very simpler code. So in the next lesson, and the last one, we are going to use a macro to generate some code inside our main runtime. So we still have some duplications, we still have some code that needs to be automatically generated inside our main file in our runtime, and we are going to use it in the next lesson.